Oh, hey there, don't mind me, I'm just about to do a quick durability test of this here Wii remote. Well, now that I have your attention, may I direct you to this piece of garbage? Yeah, piece of garbage. Only 13 million units sold? Please, even Xbox has done better than that. The Wii U was Nintendo's second worst selling console. Yeah, second. Because fun fact about the Virtual Boy, it exists. The Wii U was a successor to Nintendo's best selling console, the Wii, which I have talked about in a previous video. But moving on, why did the Wii U flop so hard? Well, I'm going to talk about the bad things about the Wii U that led to it selling so poorly. And then I'm going to talk about the good things it brought to the table. Well, it all starts with how Nintendo marketed the Wii U. Here's the hint, they didn't do a very good job. First off, why did they name it Wii U? They should have named it something like the Wii 2 or given it its own unique name, but no, let's just call it the Wii U. One other thing in the marketing, the commercials. The commercials for it were bad. It was mostly just annoying kids saying why they want a Wii U. At launch, there was a 32GB version for $400 and an 8GB version for $300. And that was kind of expensive considering how big games were at the time. I mean, if you were primarily buying games digitally, it would fill up your hard drive pretty fast. But to combat that, Nintendo lowered the price of the 32GB version to $300 and just stopped selling an 8GB version altogether. Why not just lower the price of the 8GB version to $200 or even $250 would have sufficed? But no, said Nintendo. But that was just the start. Another thing was the concept of the Wii U. 2 screens, one on the controller and one on the TV. Okay, that just sounds like a weird version of the DS. People didn't really care about that concept. And even worse, Nintendo didn't even utilize it very well anyway. Also, the Wii U Gamepad's battery life was terrible. Why would you want to get this thing? And now to the games. Well, these are all the North American launch titles. And oh boy, this is lame. So for the first party launch titles, we have Zombie U, which is stupid. We have Nintendo Land, which was cool, but not a system seller. We also have New Super Mario Bros. U, which, let me tell you something, this is too much. I mean, at first, the New Super Mario Bros. Series was cool, but after the 3DS game, it just got kind of boring. And they released the Wii U game a year later after the 3DS one. Even the hardcore Mario fans have to admit, this is too much Mario. But that wasn't the least of it when it came to Wii U games, because there's still more. First off, the Wii U was oversaturated with 2D games. There was just so many and not enough 3D games in comparison. Third-party games on the Wii U were games like Call of Duty. People who owned the Wii U and also liked these types of games, most of the time already had a console they could play it on. So why bring games like this to the system? It was pointless. There were also a couple of the worst Nintendo published games on the system. Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival was an Animal Crossing themed Mario Party game basically, and if you thought that was bad enough, they didn't even have minigames like Mario Party, and the game required the use of Amiibo. Granted, most of the time they would be packed in with the game, but that just begs the question of why they needed to make Amiibo required for the game in the first place. They got fans hyped up for a new Animal Crossing game and let them down by giving them an Animal Crossing party game that was bad. The other really terrible game on the system was Star Fox Zero, and this game controlled terribly and didn't add anything to the Star Fox universe. There was also a great game on the system that was just pointless, The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. You could already play Twilight Princess on the Wii U with its backwards compatibility with the Wii, and the graphics, while greatly enhanced, weren't Wii U level graphics. It didn't look like a Wii U game, it just looked like a Gamecube or Wii game, just in HD now. The game also didn't have the controls from the Wii, just the controls from the Gamecube version, which is stupid because they could have easily bring the Wii controls as an alternative control option. Also, most of the games on the Wii U had 3DS counterparts. Why does there need to be this much synergy? They didn't need to do this, and it kind of devalued the games on the Wii U because of it. And finally, and let's not forget some of the most useless features of the Wii U's gamepad, like the TV remote. You don't need this, but that's not even that bad of a useless feature. But why this camera? It really doesn't need it. They could have just made it a separate accessory, but whatever. Now that I'm done talking about the bad things the Wii U did, I can finally move on to some of the good things it did. First off, the gamepad. While there is a lot of bad to say about the Wii U gamepad, there's also a lot of good. This thing was big and meaty, but also really comfortable. We have nice grips on the back of the gamepad, the buttons are nice and big to go along with the size of this thing, and it's great. I also like the analog stick placement. It just makes sense with this big thing, and the analog sticks themselves are very comfortable. One cool feature this thing had was NFC support for games that require toys and the infamous amiibo figures, and these things could basically give you extra content or bonuses in lots of games. But it was generally more of a collectible item, but hey, still cool though. Also, let's not forget that some games actually utilize the gamepad pretty well. Super Mario Maker and Pikmin 3 are great examples of good gamepad utilization. And the most important thing about the gamepad? Portability. Yeah, I can play games just on the gamepad, as long as I'm within 10 feet of the Wii U console. You know, while portability on this thing wasn't really there, it did set the stage for the concept of the Nintendo Switch, and we can't forget that. And we all have to admit that was something amazing that came straight from the Wii U. Alternative control options for some games were the Wii Remote and Nunchuck, and there was also this Wii U Pro Controller, and this thing was way better than the gamepad in terms of battery life. This thing could go 80 hours on a single charge, which is crazy. While the Wii U may have had too many 2D games, that didn't stop them from being good games. I mean, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is literally one of the best 2D platformers I've ever played, maybe even the best. Also, we have a 2D Mario game imagined in a 3D space. Super Mario 3D World takes the formula from 2D Mario games and puts them in 3D. And this was a sick game, although I still prefer the more open-ended games like Sunshine and 64. Plus, this concept was already used in Super Mario 3D Land on the 3DS, but hey, it's still a good game. We also got a good Zelda remaster, The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker. The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker is an amazing game from the Gamecube, and this remaster has upped graphics and some new content added into the game, but it's just great to see one of the best Gamecube games made available for the Wii U. Oh man, we still have lots to go through. Mario Kart 8, anybody? Mario Kart 8 took the concept of kart customization and gliding from Mario Kart 7 on the 3DS. It also brought back bikes from Mario Kart Wii and added the anti-gravity concept, which made for some great tracks for the first Mario Kart game in HD. Super Smash Bros. On the Wii U. Lame name, great game. Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U has great fighting, a great character roster, and great maps, as well as being the first Super Smash game in HD. And it added 8-player Smash, and oh boy, this is chaotic. But that's what makes 8-player Smash so fun, and that by itself is a fantastic addition to the Super Smash Bros. Series. Pikmin 3 is awesome. We have new types of Pikmin, new characters, and of course, amazing gameplay. If you've never played a Pikmin game and you own one of these consoles, please try this series out. It may look stupid and weird at first, but trust me, it's great. What about new IPs? Well, this isn't a new IP, but it's a great new Mario game where you can make your own levels, play a couple of pre-made levels the game has, and play and download levels that other people have made. And this is a really awesome game. And in terms of an actual new IP, we got Splatoon. And this is incredible. And one of the only true system sellers for the Wii U. Splatoon is an online third-person shooter with that Nintendo feel, and it has awesome modes, lots of weapons and gear, and a single-player mode if you're into that. And the online for this game worked amazing, and same can be said for most Wii U games. You see, the Wii U has actual good online that's free, and the Switch just has okay online that costs $20 a year. And that's the sole reason why I play Splatoon on the Wii U more than Splatoon 2 on the Switch. That's just sad. Okay, moving on. The Wii U has great legacy content. The Wii U, as in the name, plays Wii games. Pop on a Wii disc and you're good to go. The Wii U brought back the Virtual Console from the Wii and wasn't that great at first, but it did get better, and this is what it has now. You've got some original NES games, SNES games, Nintendo 64 games, GBA games, DS games, and hell, you even got some digital Wii games. The one thing that it didn't have that it should have was Gamecube support, with either backwards compatibility or certain titles being available on the eShop as virtual console titles. But they didn't do that. However, you could play some Gamecube games just from them being ports. And yeah, the Virtual Console is great. Sadly though, Nintendo is planning on shutting down the eShop in March of 2023. And if you have a Wii U and want to get some games on the eShop, you should probably do it now, before it's too late. Well, that was a good outlook on the Wii U. Now I'm going to Nintendo's headquarters to boycott them, because how dare they stop supporting a failed console?